Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 12 of Happiness from Within. I'm your host, Jeanette Prado. I really want to thank you from my heart to yours for joining me on this journey of happiness from within to bring you guys absolute value. I am beyond ecstatic for today's episode. I had the pleasure to sit down today with an amazing woman, powerful woman, Dharma Love. And just to tell you about this amazing, enlightening woman, she is an accredited spiritual teacher and healer who specializes in healing from emotional trauma. Dharma grew up as an empath, aware that there was more to the world than what we see. For a long time, she hid from this awareness by numbing herself through eating disorders and drugs. Eventually, she found that she couldn't run away and began to embrace her beautiful gift. By embracing her beautiful gift, she took charge of her life, transformed her feeling of not being normal into a healing practice to help others get back to normal. Dharma Love shares so much deep insight in this amazing episode, and I want to share with you guys a few of the highlights. She explained in this episode how she wasn't ready to play the role that she now enjoys. She didn't want to deal with the energy and all the woo-woo stuff. She just wanted to be normal. Growing up, she wanted to be somewhere else. She wanted a different now. Through her life's journey, she came to realize no amount of emotional or physical numbing could take her away. So slowly, she stopped trying. She began to struggle with anorexia and bulimia. She wandered into misusing drugs and alcohol, but some part of her never gave up. And as Dharma described, she never wandered too far down the wrong path. One thing that saved her from going down the wrong path was music. Dharma Love is a professional songwriter and musician. As she shares, music has always been my best friend and was something that connected her with others. It was something that helped her heal. Music also helped her experience the power of being in the present. That is where our power lies, is here in the present moment. When she stopped trying to run, Dharma aligned with her purpose. She began to realize that our lives are ready now. For some reason, she grew up with the idea that we have to look a certain way or have a certain thing to be ready. She wasn't ready to be normal, yet in reality, she was ready to be in the present just as we are. This was the biggest lesson that Dharma learned as a result of her experience. Being present in the now is our key to breaking out of the pain of our past or anxiety of the future. In this moment, we might be happy or sad, but that moment will not last. It's only our belief about that moment before or after it happened that will determine whether we let that moment. This is where we get out of alignment. We experience something or anticipate experience something, and we get attached to the feeling rather than moving on. The attachment is what keeps us repeating bad relationships, bad behavior problems, and bad goals. We are stuck on an experience that isn't here anymore. So once Dharma understood that accepting our present is the key to moving forward with your life, she began to apply this knowledge to help others heal. Combined with her amazing training as a spiritual healer, Dharma was able to understand how feelings of not being normal as a young adult were an asset. She was ready to fully live in the present, accepting that we can just live in the present without reimagining hurts of the past or obsessing over the future. Neither the past nor the future can help us now. It is only the present where we have the power to change, the power to co-create our lives. By tapping into that power, we can fulfill our beautiful destiny one day at a time. So there's definitely a lot of other amazing gems that you're going to get out of this episode. I'm so excited to bring you this episode. I just encourage you to sit back and relax, and I'll catch you in the interview. Hello, and welcome to episode 12 of Happiness from Within. I am so honored and deeply honored to have an amazing guest today. Her name is Dharma Love. Dharma is an accredited spiritual healer and teacher and has been delivering life-changing transformational messages to souls all around the world. Dharma specializes in emotional healings, from trauma release, from PTSD to energy healing, hypnosis, and Akashic Records readings. She provides breakthrough online resources to promote self-healing and offers one-on-one sessions as well as online programs and coursework. She has helped thousands of souls all over the world align to their true purpose, or as the ancients call it, Dharma. So I have her here on the line. Hi, Dharma. How are you today?
Hi, Janet. I am good. How are you doing?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you so much for this opportunity to connect with you and to share your beautiful story with the world. So,
thank you so much for offering this opportunity and creating it. And thank you, everybody listening.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So, take us back to the beginning, Dharma. Where are you from? Where did your spiritual awakening happen?
Well, I'm from Italy and I moved to California actually 11 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So before then, I'm 41 years old. So I have a lot of, if I take you back to the very beginning, well, let's just make it very, very short. Some stories are so intense and so deep. If you start doing that, it's like, see you in 30 days.
I know, right?
30 days we're going to be done, maybe. I know you can relate to probably, yes.
Absolutely.
So, yes, I'm from Italy. I was born and raised there. Such a different kind of culture from here in the United States. I was very much nested into my family's love for a long time until I was almost 20 years old. I started understanding that I had gifts when I was probably 6, 7 years old because I was feeling everybody's energies. So it really unsettled me. The fact that I was changing my mood, my emotions from one second to the other without understanding why,
Yeah.
And then I understood and I saw there was a correspondence between these emotions coming up into my own field and into my own awareness. But the fact that I was close to someone physically in that very moment, there's someone that, just entered my life maybe, or a friend or a family member. So I understood that energy was not really my own energy in that moment because I could not really relate, to that feeling, that I was perceiving in that moment. But until that was, and came into my own awareness, that was a huge deal for me because I literally thought that I was crazy, I thought that something was not okay with me,
Yeah.
So probably people that are very sensitive, empaths, they have a very strong sensitivity and awareness of what is going on outside of themselves as well. So if you are an empath, it's very likely that you perceive this kind of emotions and then you are affected by them unless you understand that this is not your own emotional blueprint, So you can, as if it's not your own, you can decide, not to engage with it in the way that you engage when you're not aware of it. Okay, so it's about that awareness that you build within yourself. And you're like, okay, you know what? Send it back to the sender. Send it back to, I'm sending it back to that person, and that's all right. That's not my own, So I started with this kind of awareness, I started cultivating my relationship with our vibrational world and the fact that we're energy beings and light beings. And I always was able to perceive energies and see energies in terms of, light beings or even people that passed on. Okay. So it was something that to me at first scared me, like I said before, and then, kind of became my own, I just made peace with it. And I was like, okay, this is what it is. I can react with fear, or I can accept this because this is not going away. It's not going anywhere. I can just accept it and embrace it. From age, I would say 10 to age 20, 21, 22, there were a lot of battles, a lot of conflicts within my heart because I did not accept very much this gift. For me, it was more like a course than a gift and a blessing.
Yeah.
And so I battled with it, and I battled it with bulimia and anorexia for a while. It was my own way to empty myself, literally, and trying to, at the same time trying to fulfill a void that I had within myself because I did not find that acceptance within myself of who I was. At the same time, my parents were not going through a very good moment into their relationship. So I was, as an empath, soaking into the vibes that I was perceiving from them. And I was going through my own dark night of the soul. You know, like we have so many different kinds of dark nights of the soul, as also so many kinds of awakenings during life. You know, so we have all these stages that go simultaneously, you know.
Absolutely.
Like so cool, but so heavy at the same time, you know, and so very intense. I see that. You feel that.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yes. So it was like very conflicted, like the whole thing. And I turned to drugs around 20 years old in my life. And it was not a very long period of my life, fortunately, because my body literally sent me signs, very clear signs, that if I did not stop that habit and that addiction, if I didn't put a stop to it, I would have died. You know, like my body literally reacted very, very quickly because I was very sensitive to the intake of these drugs. And so I, you know, like from one day to the other, I called it quit and I stopped and I moved because at that time I was living in England. And I went back to Italy, to my country right away, basically when my body told me, you have to stop this or something bad is going to happen. So that was a huge awakening. Talking about awakenings, that was a huge awareness that came into my own field, into my life. So the battle with addiction has always been in my own field. There's something that I always had to deal with. It was with food, you see, like your nourishment. Your food represents the relationship that you have. Food represents your nourishment, the relationship that you have with your mother, the relationship, obviously, that you have with yourself, okay? So how much do you nourish yourself? How much do you feel that you are valuable, worthy to nourish yourself? And drugs as well, you know, like it was an addiction, right? So it was about somehow punishing myself. So there was a component of that. And literally, I mean, it definitely was coming from and stemming from the fact that I was not feeling worthy of having a so-called normal life. And at the same time, I was numbing all of my gifts because this is what drugs do. This is what alcohol does. You know, like they lower your vibration so that when your vibrational state is lower, you don't feel as much as you would when your vibration is actually higher because you're a clear channel of light, you know?
Yeah.
So that was the battle that went on for over 20 years of my life. Then in the meantime, music has always been, so vibrations has always been in my life, you know. So I was working on music, like I'm a professional singer and songwriter. So for years and years and years, I was just, I was making records and, you know, like that was my life, you know, like love it. I still love it, you know, because music is amazing. And it was such a beautiful tool to expression. And it was a catharsis. Every song, every lyrics, everything about it was a way for me to alchemize what I was experiencing in my life. Okay, so very important and very, very, just very prominent in my life. Okay, so music has always been my ally on that level, and I know that people that are creative can totally relate to this because our creation, our expression is such a tool to alchemize and really transmute all these emotions that we have within ourselves and channel them into the world and transmute something that would feel so heavy on the heart into something that other people somehow can relate to. And when other people can relate to even just a message like that one we're delivering right now, you and I, it's something that people can relate to, and in that connection that they find in their hearts, in what they're seeing, hearing, feeling, they are finding some sort of healing because that connection is healing. And they're like, oh my gosh, that's what I feel. Somebody acknowledged my feelings and emotions. Oh my God.
Yes.
And maybe sometimes, you know, we don't even acknowledge our feelings and emotions. And then we're listening to a lyric and we're like, oh, but this is what I feel. I never was able to put it into words, but now I see it. I feel it. Oh my God, this is what's happening to me. So art in any way, expression, form, we are art pieces. We are creators. that's what we are, So music has always been my ally, my biggest, my best friend, and so beautiful. So that was a huge support that I had from that craft that really supported me in my darkest moments. I have so many memories popping up in my head right now.
Wow.
So it's really, yeah.
Wow, that's really, wow.
So you asked for this, you're like,
no, no, Dharma,
tell me about the story.
No, it's beautiful. I just, the whole purpose of this podcast is to touch people's hearts and souls at a very deep level through interviews. So just, really appreciate you opening up your heart, and sharing this, because there's a lot of people out there suffering with these eating disorders, anxiety, depression, which I do want to go more into because I know you specialize in a lot of that. And so, thank you for sharing that. I have no doubt that this is going to touch a lot of people's lives. And so,
yeah, it's going to touch whoever resonates with this. And even if it's just one person, this is also this is my motto. Okay. And actually, this motto came recently, it was an awareness, another awakening that came in very recently, in the last 4 months or so.
Yeah, please,
at the very beginning.
Please share. Yes.
Oh, yeah. In the very beginning, when I started because we met each other through Instagram, and Janet and we met each other through Instagram. And I created my Instagram account 3 years ago, 3 years and a half ago. Yeah. And 4 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, yes. But I started using it as a tool of expression only probably 3 years and a half ago. So that was the moment in which I really started embracing all of it and putting myself on a bigger platform, finding a little bit of courage, just a teeny tiny bit of courage that would be like, okay, I'm going to put myself on the camera today. Oh my God. It feels like someone is taking away, it feels like they're stripping my skin away right now. But it just felt right, So that fear of putting your face out there, that fear of communicating the way you feel, delivering your message. I know how much courage it takes, to do so. It takes so much courage, So even you, Janet, thank you so much for initiating and creating this tool and putting yourself out there, because I know that it takes a lot of courage. But at the same time, once we start, we cultivate that courage, and that courage becomes a little more, just a little more. And yes, we're always going to face that fear of, I don't really feel like putting my face out there maybe today, but it's all right. Whatever we're going through, just being transparent, being really real, being really authentic, like yesterday, I took a video on purpose of myself. I had a turban on my hair because I just came out of the shower. And, but Spirit literally told me, just make this video right now because someone needs to see you like this. No makeup, no nothing, just raw. You know what I mean? Just like you are, just like you are.
Yeah.
So sometimes we battle with, I'm not ready. I don't look good. I didn't get my nails done, whatever it is. You know what I mean? I cannot make that. I cannot make that video. I cannot make that because I'm not ready. But we never feel completely ready,
True.
Because we're never the word of readiness. It's something that should be probably erased from the dictionary because it's what does that even mean? Ready? What does it mean? So we're always ready. We're always just, if we stay in the now, this is what we offer in the now. What we offer in the now. That's all that we can offer. And by offering, I mean sharing who you are. That's the best offer. You are a gift to the world. That's the best offer that you can give to the world. Yourself. Whatever you're going through right now. You're feeling like crap. You talk about it. You know what I mean? You're feeling good and ecstatic. You talk about it. That's fun. That's beautiful. That's how we heal each other, by sharing, by allowing other people to understand that it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to be vulnerable. We don't have to be like this, smiley, shiny face all the time, glowy, perfect makeup, perfect hair. Who cares? We're not like that. What we are, it's so much more profound than all of this physical nature that we are. And yes, like we understand that that's important as well in this three-dimensional reality, especially in a society that puts so much attention to looks.
Yeah.
And visuals, how you look like,
yeah, and
everything. But at the same time, we are creating a new paradigm that is based on authenticity and rawness. And we know that however we are, that's just the perfection that we are.
Absolutely.
However we are, it's who we are. And who we are is divine. Who we are is divine and needs to be honored. It's sacred. We're sacred. So I lost completely, the train of thoughts right now. But where were we?
Oh, no. Yeah, no, that was really beautifully said. This interview can go either way, so it's beautiful. I really love how you were talking about, I would really love you to expand on this concept you were talking about in your live a few days ago. You were talking about this mantra, I am present. Can you expand on that? I would really love the audience to hear about that. It was so beautiful what you talked about in that live.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I saw you popping in that day. I was like, yeah, you're here. I tend not to read the comments though, because if I read too many comments, I get out of the channeling. So I try to stay in there. But I saw you. Yes, it's about living in the now. It's about living in the present moment, because there is no other moment than the present moment. So when we are thinking about overthinking, projecting ourselves into the future, what's going to happen in a couple of hours, in 1 hour, 30 minutes, tomorrow, or for some people even more, what am I going to do next summer? Let me plan the whole thing out. We're not living in the present moment, which is the only moment that we got. And therefore, we're not being fully into the experience that we are living. If you're not in the present and you are in the future, or for some people as well who have a lot of traumas, they tend to live in the past.
Yeah.
Because the trauma was created in the past into what we think that is the past in our linear perspective of what we think is time. So people tend to stay there in the trauma moment, and therefore they replicate the trauma moment into their present moment every moment, because they still are there. One day I heard it was an interview, a podcast that I don't remember who was the person, but you see, sometimes we don't remember who the person who said that was, but what really stuck to me, what really remained with me, Dharma, there are so many words, you can change the word, if that doesn't come. What really remained with me was that this person said that just imagine a lion hunting. A lion is actually hunting. She hunts and she lives in the moment. After she finished hunting, she doesn't think about what she did right or wrong about that hunting. And she doesn't live and experience that adrenaline anymore that she was experiencing in the moment in which she was hunting. Because that moment is over. So she doesn't bring it into the present. If she was chasing that prey 15 minutes prior, 1 second after she finishes chasing the prey, and I hope she misses out because I love animals. She doesn't experience that adrenaline anymore. She doesn't experience that feeling anymore that she's chasing. Instead, what humans do, we hold on to that trauma. We hold on to that adrenaline. We hold on to those chemicals. And we keep repeating the moment of the chase. We keep repeating the moment in our mind, in our head, looping all these feelings and emotions and visuals of the trauma.
Wow.
And we are the only ones. Yeah, you understand why this actually remained with me as a message, because it's very powerful.
Wow.
So if we could be more like them, why can they do that and we cannot do it? Well, number one, we can actually do it.
Absolutely.
If they can do it, we can do it.
Absolutely.
We're both conscious. So we have animal consciousness and human consciousness. Consciousness is consciousness also, by the way, so we're all part of one collective consciousness. So if they can do it, we can do it. So it's just a matter of rewiring our brain, and not to bring our past into our present anymore. Like the past is the past. Yeah, I suffered and I honor everything that I experienced, and I honor everything that you experienced, all of that pain. But do we want to bring all of this pain? And is it something that uplifts me and creates so much space in my life to bring that pain in my life in every moment of my life? Maybe not. Maybe it's not so for the highest good of me. So whatever it's not for the highest good of ourselves, we should leave it in the past. So this is why the I am present mantra is so important, because we live now. So what is very, very important for us is to actually be aware of that, of what we are experiencing when we are experiencing it in the now. Yeah. So reciting this mantra and saying, I am present, and taking a deep breath into your heart, closing your eyes. Whatever you are, in the bus, you're sitting in your chair, you're sitting on your couch, on your work table, whatever you are at work. You can just close your eyes for a second and dedicate that second for yourself, to your presence, to your own presence, so that you can really be here, not there, and not in the past. And once you are here, everything shifts, your consciousness shifts, and you literally anchor yourself to your own heart and presence. You ground into your heart. You become embodied more and more and more each day. So this is why reciting the I am present and feeling every word, all these 3 words, I am present, feeling these words deeply in every cell of your body as you take them in with your breath, which is your life force, is super powerful. So you stay in the now, and as you're here, you're not there, and you're not there, Wow. So that's a very good start for people that overthink, very good start for people that tend to just go back in time. And also a very good start for people that have issues in making decisions. They don't want to make decisions because what if tomorrow I'm not okay with that? Well, tomorrow is tomorrow. Yeah. Just go with what resonates with you today. And tomorrow you're going to think about it tomorrow. Why do you have to think about it right now? Sometimes we think that if we make a decision, we marry to that decision, and then we can't divorce if things don't go right. Yeah. The thing is that everything is fluctuating. Everything is fluid. It's not. The stagnation is only in our mind. The limitations are only in our mind. So as long as we say, I'm making this decision for right now it feels good. It really resonates in my heart right now. Yeah, I take a deep breath and I'm thinking about it and I'm like, yeah, oh, that feels good. I want to do it right now. Don't ask me about tomorrow because I don't know about tomorrow, but does that matter? No, because the only moment that we have is really right now. And this also helps getting rid of all the attachments that we have. Wow. And at the same time, being fully and completely present. So when you're with someone, you're giving your infinite percent, because this is the only moment that we have. Makes sense? Absolutely. And you're creating such a powerful moment. This is how you create the momentum. Just being in the now. Momentum means now, the moment. So sometimes we get lost in all this before, after, when before and after don't matter. So it's, it's a way to make your life more simple. Wow. Wow. There's this, I just feel this we are wow creatures. That's what we are. Wow. There's just this beautiful energy that just always comes through you. It's just amazing. Thank you so much. It's just, wow. Thank you so much. It's the same energy that comes through you. Thank you. Thank you very much. I would love you to jump in. If you can talk about a little bit about I'd love to go into the work that you do. Can you talk about what excuse me if I pronounce this wrong, the Ashantic recordings, this beautiful gift that you have to helping people? Yes, the Akashic Records. Ashantic Records. Thank you very much. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. The Akashic records are, let's just say, you can imagine them as a library of information. Okay, so as a collective consciousness, you can imagine the universe and everything that it's in the universe as a hammock.
Okay.
Multi-layered hammock. Where you move, and where you move, I mean, by saying that, I mean, whenever you have a thought, whenever you're doing something, you're taking actions, you're moving right here on the hammock, right? And whatever you move, everything else moves accordingly, right? So each one of us has that power. So we basically live in this universe where whatever you do, whatever you think affects me. And whatever I do and whatever I think affects you. Yeah. Because we're one. We're literally intertwined in this beautiful fabric of oneness. The Akashic Records is this fabric of oneness that holds within all the information about me and you. What have I done? What am I going to do? What you have done? What they did, during King Arthur time and all this kind of things. Yeah. So basically, Akashic Record, it's a beautiful way to access information, to access information, for the purpose of understanding what are the challenges that I'm going through right now and why am I going through the challenges that I'm going through right now for the purpose of resolving any conflicts, healing the trauma that we may have been going through in the past. So the records are a beautiful way for me to connect to this beautiful higher consciousness that is very pure and holds a beautiful frequency of healing for people. So when I connect to the Akashic Records, I started connecting with the Akashic Records, during meditation. I didn't even know, what I was doing in that moment. Wow. But this is how we do it, though, sometimes we access our own past lives in meditations. We access information because that's what we are, we are receiver and broadcasters of frequency. Absolutely. Because we're energy. Yeah. So as long as we keep our channels open by keeping that ongoing communication with ourselves and clearing, working on our shadows, working on anything that hold us down, we're actually bringing ourselves up. So the more we do this and the more we're capable of tuning into some frequencies, because the Akashic Records isn't just frequency. We're able to tune into frequencies that give us information about what we need, in that very moment. So we get all the information that we need. So this is the beautiful tool that I use as well, in some sessions, especially when it's requested. Someone may be just wanting an Akashic record reading to understand what are the challenges that I'm going through in life and why am I going through this. And just by knowing that and by resonating with that frequency of acknowledgement, the person starts healing that pattern and starts understanding why things are happening in their life. Wow. And with that understanding, they start healing that pattern, whatever it is that they're going on. Wow. So it's very powerful, and everybody can access the Akashic Records because it's a collective consciousness information that we're all tuned to. It's just a matter of tuning into it even more. So when I do this, it's about alignment. The more you actually connect with yourself, with your heart, with your breath. So meditation, breathing, visualizations are amazing tools to actually open up your heart even more, which is your portal, and really helps you connecting with your higher consciousness. Wow. Once you do that, you access everything that you need to access. And I facilitate for someone that may need some confirmations, because in the end, we kind of know deep within ourselves, Some people don't know because they are not able to listen to that inner wisdom just because it's covered up with all these filters of the mind. So for some people, this is why it's so much easier to access this information or hear the intuition, the gut feeling, the hunches. And for other people, it's not so easy. It's just about How much is your mind in the way? How many layers, filters have you created for yourself so that you actually don't hear that sound that comes from within, which is your inner GPS and guidance?
Wow.
So everyone can access that as long as we purify, we let go of these filters. So I help people getting rid of these filters in my other sessions. Yeah, because everything is frequency and energy. So trauma is a frequency of hurt, you know? And traumas can be very small or very big.
Yeah.
And they don't need to be small or they don't need to be big in order to condition your life in your adult life or in your life in general. They don't need to be big in order to affect you in the way that you think and in the way that you act. Sometimes even a small trauma that happened to you in another lifetime or in your lifetime when you were a child can literally affect the way that you're wired. And therefore, you're not able to tune into self-love. You're not able to tune into confidence. You're not able to tune into the awareness of your divine self. And as a consequence, you put yourself into toxic relationships. You put yourself into dramatic events, a series of dramatic events. You attract them because you're tuned into that frequency. Okay.
Wow.
So by getting rid of those are all filters, just visualize that those are all filters. So in the moment you take away all these frequencies, and so I work with frequencies. This is what we do. We work with frequency, and whether we're aware about it or not, that's what we do. Yeah. And as these filters go down and, they're not there anymore, we're literally able to become and embody the co-creators that we are meant to be, because we're meant to co-create our life in the way that we want. Absolutely. For the highest good of ourselves and others. So when we are still wounded, we can't co-create the life that we want, because that's a filter that does not allow us to rise up, and it's a filter that keeps us down. So I help people with all these things, and obviously for some, it's very life-changing, because a lot of people, when you have a lot of filters and you have building filters for 30, 40, 50 years of your life, that translates into the body sometimes, okay? Yeah. So that energy, that frequency literally gets into the body, into every cell, and therefore some people become sick. Yeah. This is why we become sick, because all that energy gets filtered and translated into the body. Yeah. So as you release these energies, you also start clearing your body and allowing your body to heal itself, because the body is a self-healing mechanism machine. Like the body can heal itself. We are healing ourselves. So what I really do and what other healers do, it's just about giving that opportunity to the person, the soul, to be guided into their own journey of healing, where they can find and they can see, and they're guided through every step that will take them to release all these wounds, all this pain, all these emotions, all the trauma, and all the filters, so that they can start really attuning to their own higher self, higher consciousness, because they're vibrating higher. Absolutely. And therefore, they're pretty much embodied. They are living their own life mission, life purpose. Everything becomes clear when these filters are no longer there. And therefore, you also become a magnet for everything that you really wish to have in your life. Wow. It can be, for some people, it can be just, like a beautiful career. For some people, it can be money. For other people, it can be a relationship, whatever matters to you.
Wow. That really touched my heart. I really, if you don't mind me sharing really quick, some of my audience knows about this, but, I, just to add to what you're saying about this, the healing, right? When you start to heal yourself, things start to open up. I had this incurable disease in my body for 15 years. I had multiple surgeries on my knee. The doctor said I was never going to walk again. And anyway, long story short, just this last year has been really transformational for me, not just in creating the podcast, but healing my body. I went from 30 degrees range of motion to 140, now being able to do yoga and attracting beautiful souls like you and other beautiful people. And of course, it's still a work in progress of all this inner work. But yeah, I mean, it's just a personal experience from my own life. I can totally resonate with what you're saying, you know, and it's amazing.
Congratulations. You're doing such an amazing work for yourself and for the whole collective.
Thank you.
You know, because in your healing, you know, like you're finding that love, that self-love, that support. Also the knee represents their support.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And how you move forward in life. So probably there were a lot of fears that we're holding back.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
So you're doing such an amazing job. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you, Dharma. I'm almost going to cry. Thank you.
It's all right. It's okay to cry. I feel very emotional too.
Thank you. I would love to jump into, so you help people to find their twin flame. Can you talk about that? Because I shared with a few people that I was going to be interviewing. They're like, oh my God, you have to ask her that question, right? Like, who doesn't want to find like their love, you know? But I would love you to expand on that if you don't mind. Like, what exactly, what does that entail? Like, yeah, I'm very fascinated to hear about the work you do for that.
Absolutely. Okay, so as we said before, you know, like everything is frequency, you know, so there is a frequency also. There are frequencies that may holding us back from attracting love, unconditional love in our life. Okay, so twin flame reconnection is about helping the soul finding its own self-love in first place. So it goes into all the blocks that may be hindering someone, that are hindering someone from finding the love within themselves, which gets reflected into attracting their twin flame in their life. Okay. So as long as you cultivate that unconditional love within yourself, you are going to be matching that frequency. That frequency is going to match with the one of the person that, you know, like is on the same vibration. Okay. So twin flame works. Also, you know, I use the word twin flame because it's also very well known by people like soulmate, twin flames. But also, I am not really for, and I've been thinking about changing that in my website as well, because I'm not really for anything that inbox something, you know? Yeah. So it's like a label in a certain way, you know? Yeah. I used it and I still use it because it's very easy for people to understand, because we go by labels in this three-dimensional reality. But at the same time, you can call it unconditional love. You can call it however you want. Okay. Yeah. So finding and really meeting in this three-dimensional reality with the person that vibrate at your level and can therefore understand you is about, in first place, finding that love within yourself. Yeah. Cultivating that love within yourself. So I help people in the twin flame reconnection, healing all the frequencies within their hearts, within their body, that may be hindering them from finding that person and connecting with that person. Okay, so it's a very powerful work because it's about love and self-love. So it goes into the self-worth so many times, you know. So you go back in time and you understand that person had, I work with hypnosis as well. So you understand that person had that trauma in their life, and therefore, because the father abandoned the household, they feel abandoned. So they have that abandonment issue, which creates jealousy, which creates attachment, which creates the person to attract someone who is going to trigger that. Yeah. So when you transmute that frequency and heal that part, the person is not going to be attracting that person that triggers them into feeling abandoned, into feeling jealous. That's not going to be there in their own reality anymore because it's already transmuted. So this is just an example of how the love healing and the twin flame reconnection works. We work on these things. And then there is the reconnection part. We can also feel the energy of our twin flame in our heart. We feel it. We can feel that. And as long as we are opening ourselves up more and healing ourselves more every day, the more we will feel that love within ourselves and that energy. I actually attracted my twin flame last year.
Oh, congratulations. Oh my God.
So
beautiful.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's been beautiful and at the same time, so intense.
I'm sure. Yeah.
So people think that twin flame relationships are just this, bed of roses and music and violins playing. No,
rainbows and unicorns, right?
Oh yeah. There is so much to it, and everything that we have yet to solve within ourselves comes to surface because your twin flame is that person that actually allow you to really step into your own queendom, into your kingdom, into your own being embodied. So all these lower frequencies will come up to be acknowledged. And the difference with the twin flame is that that person is there to hold you. So it's going to hold that frequency for you so that you can heal yourself. It's not going to go. It's just, it's going to be there. And you're going to feel that person is going to be there. So there is such a different way of relating to the relationship. It's like the twin flame is that, we're going through a hard time right now, both you and I, in different ways, in very similar ways, most of the times, so the patterns are very similar, super similar. But I'm staying. I know that we can work this out.
Wow.
So there is that feeling of safety within your heart where you find that comfort as well in opening up yourself, being completely raw, being completely your nasty self, your whatever self, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you know that it's received. And in that receiving motion, we're finding the healing.
Wow.
So the more we connect with our heart, the more we release all these traumas within our heart, the more we are attuning to the frequency of self-love and unconditional love, which is that one of your twin flame. So last year, I was feeling his energy very much. And I knew that it was a man. For some people it can be a woman, for other people it can be another woman, a man, whatever it is. What I mean? You just know within your heart. And energy is energy, so it doesn't have anything to do with your sexuality, and it's just energy. And I felt his energy very, very much in my field, and it was feeling like so opening, so beautiful, so warm, so home. It felt like home. And I literally visualized myself in a meditation as I was feeling this energy, launching a hook into the universe. And I felt that hooked to him. So the energy that I was perceiving, I was able to actually hook to it.
Wow.
And a month and a half later, I brought him into my own manifestation field. So it literally showed up into my own reality.
Wow.
And I felt right away there was something very special about this person because he contacted me through a DM.
Wow.
Yeah. Bear in mind, I don't answer to all of my messages.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Because there is no time and, there is an energetic alignment that goes with it.
Exactly. Yeah.
That I always respect because I know that energy, never lies, so we're in this vibrational alignment or misalignment, and that's all right with no judgment, right?
Absolutely.
So I responded to him after I did this live because the energy that was coming from that message, which by the way, I didn't even know if it was a man or a woman because his Instagram handle was a universal conscious vibration. It was like, whatever, it can be anyone, right?
Wow.
But the energy that was emanating from that message was so pure. It just was there to say thank you for the beautiful life. Like it really, really ignited something in my heart, and I'm so thankful.
Yeah.
It was not a message trying to get something from you. Yeah. A lot of people, unfortunately, they still have this kind of vampiristic kind of mode because they come from a survival mode, because of all the filters, all the trauma. They're trying to get something like, can I have that? You know what I mean? It's normal. It's absolutely normal. Yeah. But it was coming from a space of tranquility, of openness, and of I don't want anything from you. I just want to tell you how grateful I am. So I responded to that message and I was like, oh my gosh, and like, thank you so much. And like, I feel so grateful that we have, this resonance, because it's a resonance, right? And then from there, he started messaging me once in a while, maybe once a week. Then it started twice a week and all these kind of things. I didn't answer to all of these messages, but I felt there was something right there. And then one day I discovered that is a handsome man who loves animals and, like so many things in common.
Wow.
Then he asked me for a session. And during that session, like for the first time in my life, I am in front of someone doing a session and I'm not being able to be the highest Dharma that I can be in terms of being really focused.
Wow. Interesting.
And, right. And so I told him that day, listen, do you mind? Because I felt that right away and I wanted to honor that because the sessions are very sacred. It's like the most sacred moment. And every moment is sacred, but if someone is searching for a session, I honor that time, that energy, and everything they put into that for that to be happening, for that to, for them to make it happen. So I thrive and I strive to be my best in that moment. And in that moment, I was like not really like present on the level of being the healer, the holder of that frequency. I felt attraction towards this man. Wow. And I told him, listen, do you mind if we actually postpone our session to another day? And maybe today we can talk a little bit?
Love it. Love it. Keep going.
Yes! So, and he did not understand that I did that because of that at first. Then I told him, I was able to actually, kind of mask it a little bit because it was like very vulnerable moment for me, that moment, right?
Wow.
And from there, a week and a half after, he came to California and he visited me. And he was meant to stay here for like 2-3 days. He stayed here for like 11 days. And I blocked my schedule for 11 days.
Wow.
Which is something I never heard of in myself, because I have a life mission. My reason for being here is to help other souls awakening to their own power and wisdom.
Wow.
So for me, that's my own priority.
Yeah.
Always.
Mm-hmm.
However, I felt my priority in that moment was to cultivate a relationship, because that relationship since a year that started has created Dharma Point 10 version.
Wow.
To be even more of service to other people.
Wow.
So twin flames are a learning relationship like every other relationship, but twin flames, they will create that embodied version of yourself.
Wow.
Twin flames will propel you into the sky, into whoever you need to be for yourself and for your life mission, so that you can be more of service to others. Wow. Twin flames work together for this life mission. They have the same life mission, actually.
Wow.
So you're working more collectively. So twin flames relationship are so much more, we do this together in our own way, because the male and the female energy, they may have different ways of doing things, right? But at the same time, they have the awareness that they're put into this world, and they're not really put into this world, that they reincarnated on purpose, purposely in this world to unite as well and create even more healing for the whole collective. So there is a sense of, you're my team, you're my teammate.
Yeah.
There is a sense of, we're doing this together. There is a sense of collaborating on that level as well. And it's very powerful.
Wow. I have another question for you in regards to twin flames. So I connect with a lot of amazing young women. Somebody even just listening to this is the question. So I've had some women ask me, or for the gentleman that's listening to this, anybody out there, is what if, okay, let's say this person listening has met their twin flame, but they're not in a relationship. They're in their environment, but maybe this man or woman is already in a relationship, but that person doesn't care, but they want to be with that person. And it's kind of like this, there's a kind of a lack of communication, or maybe they don't want to like ruin maybe some sort of business connection. It could be anything, but it's like, for sure 110,000% that this person is your soulmate, twin flame. Does that obviously mean that there's definitely healing that needs to take place on both ends? Like, what is one step that one could take? I guess, probably maybe to have a session with you if it resonates, but just anybody listening, what is one step that one could take to start, I guess, reconnecting with their twin flame if it's,
Absolutely. If there is this kind of awareness, which comes from the heart, it's a resonance that does not lie, like you feel it in your heart. It's about being patient. It's about not pushing the person into making a decision.
Yeah.
It's about holding space for that decision to happen if it has to happen in this lifetime. Wow. It's really about tuning into your own self-love even more. This is why self-love is so important.
Yeah.
Tune into that and become it. Show him how it feels like to feel embodied. Show her how it feels like to feel embodied, which means I act according to my own truth. So whatever is not my own truth, I'm going to tune out of it and I'm going to tune into my own truth. Wow. So people that are not aligned, definitely there needs to be healing to happen, right? And alignment anyway is something that shifts, goes back and forth. We cannot be always aligned, but there are stages and degrees to misalignment. So you can be completely misaligned.
Yeah.
Or you can be just slightly misaligned. If you are in a relationship where you're not fulfilled, where you are, it's a toxic relationship, you are making so many compromises just to stay in there, but you're not really, this is not serving the highest good of yourself or others, that is a choice that you're making that doesn't serve the highest purpose, and it's a misalignment.
Yeah.
So until you actually act according to your own truth and speak your own truth and behave according to that truth, you are not aligning. So the person that sees someone that they feel they're doing twin flames, they're still in another relationship, what they can do is to just tune into their own embodiment and their own self-love, show that person how it feels like when you're operating from a state of truth, from a state of alignment, so that that person can soak into that frequency and can be like, I can do that. There's definitely healing that needs to happen. There is a healing that needs to happen.
Yeah.
But we cannot remain stuck on the twin flame thing. The twin flame is right there to create even more learnings in your life. But if your twin flame is not ready, you can't remain stuck on the twin flame concept. You can always find a high vibrational soulmate who may be instead ready to love you right now in the way that you need. So labels, let's get rid of them. If someone is not ready to love you right now and you are ready to love, something probably is going to be created into your own field where you have different kinds of options. The best option is always to focus on yourself and to let that love amplify itself in your heart. Because when you are vibrating that love, you're generating healing for everyone around you.
Absolutely. Wow.
So staying focused on that, it's the most important thing, because in this way, you keep your own self-worth, you keep your own healing going, you keep your own vibration high. If you start feeling and thinking that your twin flame is not ready, what am I going to do, and all these kind of things, you are going a little out of what is the real purpose, which is living in the now, experiencing the moment, the present moment, and just, you're thinking too much,
Yeah. Wow.
Instead, it's just about, being in the moment. And you can also choose to stay in the moment and really soak into the vibes of what is it that is triggering within me the fact that this person is not ready. So this is like the big work. This is the biggest work that you can do. So if this person is triggering that within yourself, just look at all this fragmentation of the heart that you have within yourself and just start healing them. Start healing them so that you can create that wholeness within your heart, which will also allow the other person to be whole.
Wow.
It's really very profound, very deep, and very multi-dimensional, very multi-layered. And we all have a free will, and nobody's there to judge us.
Exactly.
So we can do whatever we want, whatever we feel is more resonating with ourselves. So we can wait for that person. We can go move forward, whatever we want to do. It's our own choice. But as we choose one thing, we understand that we can also have different kinds of choices, right?
Absolutely.
So what is the highest good for myself right now?
Wow. Go ahead. It's a powerful question.
Yeah.
Wow.
What is the highest good for myself right now?
Wow.
If it is going deep into all these feelings and emotions that have been triggered by that person that you're with or you're not with and you would like to be with, then be it. Let's do it. Go into all of these triggers and just mend all of this pain, mend all these wounds, heal yourself even deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. There are so infinite layers of healing. Yeah. I'm going through, since when I met my twin flames, I've been going through the highest highs and the lowest lows.
Wow.
At the same time, I'm grateful for every moment, everything. And all these layers are infinite. So it's just about accepting that and going into them, really looking at them in the face and be like, okay, so I'm feeling not acknowledged. I'm feeling like he's not putting too much energy in me right now. I feel like he's very much into his own things. He's not being able to see me. What does that cause inside of myself? He's not attracted to me. He's not attracted to me physically, or is he? But it's not showing it. How does that make me feel? Do I relate? Do I connect having sex with being loved? Is it the same thing? Can someone love you without having sex with you? Can someone love you just with cuddles? All these things will come up to surface. And all these things need to be. They don't need to be, but if they are creating misalignment and if they are felt within your heart, it means that they need to be acknowledged. Otherwise, we would not feel them. Wow. So we have the biggest opportunities with twin flames relationship and with love relationships to actually elevate ourselves to a higher version of ourselves. What is the highest good for myself right now? It's actually to go deep inside of this. Otherwise, this is going to repeat. This is going to create a loop. It's going to be a pattern that goes like on and 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 on. And actually it translates into every area of my life in some ways. It's not only love, it's also my career. Yeah, because sometimes I don't feel worthy here. Yep, because I'm doubting myself. Yes, even there, not only on the love relationship. So it's about really going into deep inside of yourself. This is why it takes a lot, it's a lot of energy. But is it worthy? Oh yeah, it's liberation. It's your own liberation that comes from it, but definitely only souls that are called to it. This is why I always say to people, sometimes I get messages, emails, and people are asking, Dharma, can you please heal my father? Or can you please work with my daughter? And I'm like, has your daughter asked for it? Has your father asked for it?
Wow.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Because there needs to be a vibrational alignment, a vibrational understanding. The person needs to have chosen the practitioner. So I absolutely don't believe in, referrals of that kind. You know what I mean? Or, gift certificates. No.
That was funny.
Yeah, that can be for healing. That cannot be for healing because someone needs to want it, and the work that I do is so deep that not so many people resonate with it. But when they do, they shift their life.
Wow, Dharma. That was, thank you. Wow, that was really beautiful. Wow.
Thank you for allowing me to share.
Yeah, no, absolutely. My next question that I have is, for somebody listening,
can I get a banana? Do you mind if I get a banana? Because I'm having a little
Please
bit
get a banana.
Yes, thank you so much. Hold
please,
on a second,
please. So you guys,
one second, please.
I'll talk to my audience while you grab a banana. So you guys, while we're taking this little break, I just really hope through my heart and soul that, this is resonating with you,
Janet.
in some way. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, please eat. Eating is very important.
Yeah, because otherwise I'm going to have some sort of blood sugar, drop. And then, I can feel it right away.
No, I'm totally the same way. Yeah, no problem.
I cannot think anymore. If I have it, I just can't, I can't do anything anymore. Like my brain processor goes like, shut down.
No, absolutely. I like to have a banana once in a while too. In the morning, depending what my body wants, I like to have like a green smoothie, maybe with some berries, maybe some oatmeal, whatever my body's asking.
So amazing.
Asking for. So
that's intuitive eating. I love it.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I was just telling my audience, please eat your banana. There's no rush. Just that I really hope that the message that they're getting is just really resonating in their heart, and they're just taking whatever they want in. And you've shared a lot of really deep insight. I'm so blown away. This is amazing. This may sound strange, but I feel like I've known you for many lifetimes. It's really interesting. When I started connecting with you on Instagram and watching your lives, it's like you see your beautiful eyes, and when you're on the screen, it's like I feel like my spirit guides speak through you. Everybody takes what they need, but it's like this really amazing connection that we make with different people, So I just really want to thank you for that. I
thank you. I thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is it okay to ask you the next question?
Of course.
Okay, great.
I'm ready.
Thank you so much. So my next question is, it's a pretty deep question, but basically what it is, for people out there suffering with, really struggling with anxiety and depression, which can stem from definitely past traumas, as you were saying, from past lifetimes, people that have been sexually abused, raped, all these things. It's a worldwide issue. I think the numbers are like 1 in every 5 men, 1 in every 5 women have gone through some sort of traumatic, molestation, rape, and it causes, these blockages. And what the question is this, Dharma, is what is just anything you'd like to share? It could be one small step for healing that someone could take today to start reconnecting to their highest self or consciousness, to start this healing for themselves.
Yeah. I would say that everything stems from acceptance. So acceptance of what has been, and also understanding that what has been does not determine your own worth.
Wow.
And even though what you have experienced has been so traumatic that still affects you today, you also have the choice to stop that cycle and know that it doesn't have to affect you today or tomorrow anymore, So it's about reclaiming your power, taking your power back, empowering yourself, knowing that even though in that situation you have been a victim, you don't have to hold on and keep the role of the victim for the rest of your life. Otherwise, it would be like you're being victimized by that person all of your life. Do you want to allow that to happen? Are you giving that person that power? Or do you want to claim your power back and be like, okay, that happened, that hurt me, like nothing ever hurt me before. At the same time, do I want to allow that hurt to hurt me for the rest of my life? So it's about having this beautiful dialogue with yourself. It's about keeping that communication with your wounded heart so that you can make a different kind of choice for you that will uplift you, uplift your choice of thoughts, your actions, because from your emotions, then thoughts come and then actions come, consequently like that, emotion, thought, and then actions. So as you are shifting your thought, you're starting also to heal your emotion because you're deciding to take a proactive action towards your healing. Like if you're deciding today that, heck no, I don't want to be conditioned, affected by what that person did to me 20 years ago, 5 years ago, yesterday. I don't want to bring that into my present anymore because I understand that I keep the cycle of pain going in that way.
Wow.
So you can make the conscious decision of saying, I don't want to do that. So what do I want to do? I actually want to heal myself and love myself and give myself that support that I was not able to experience in that moment of my life. I want to give myself that security and safety that I did not feel in that moment of my life. So it's really about making that conscious choice. And at the same time, there are so many other things to be done, because it's not about the choice that you're making. It's also about, looking for a provider that can help you. You know what I mean? Looking for a healer that can help you. Looking for yoga, do some yoga. And when you're doing your yoga poses, be aware of what kind of yoga pose that you're doing, and that it's interacting with some meridians, that it's interacting with your energy, and it's helping that energy and that pattern to just go away. So be aware about all these things. You're doing yoga, you're releasing all of these emotions. You're breathing, you're releasing all of these emotions. So you keep doing that, keep doing that, keep doing that. And as you breathe out, you release. As you breathe in what you want to be, what you know that you are without that pain. What you know that you are without that anxiety, what you know that you are without that trauma, without that frustration, without that sadness. What you know that you are without that feeling that you're not worthy. If that feeling that you were not worthy was not there, how would you be? How would you feel? If that pain was no longer there to haunt you every second of your life, how would you feel? What would you do that you're not doing right now because of that pain? So it's about really asking yourself all these questions and tuning into that frequency, because it's just about tuning into that frequency of who do I want to be? I choose to be, so it's about empowering yourself, stepping out of the victim mode and into the empowered mode. I actually also made a course which is called the Ultimate Empath Guide, talking about the online courses that I have available for people to heal themselves at their own pace in their own home. It's a packed course. It's packed of techniques to heal yourself, to really go deeper within yourself, fight your fears, transmute them, transmute the trauma, childhood trauma, and connect with your inner child, connect with your higher self, and allow, give yourself just the tools to succeed. So give yourself the tools to succeed. It can be a walk in the park, together with this deep work that you're doing with yourself. But you need to want it. You need to want to step out of that victim mode and into an empowered version of yourself for the highest good of me. What is the highest good of me right now? Is this thought serving me right or not? If it's not serving you right, then you want to change that thought. So it's incorporating a lot of techniques together, from breathing, visualizations, meditation, to your constant willpower of wanting to change.
Wow.
To yoga, stretching, moving your body, because this energy also needs to be moved physically within your body.
Yeah.
So that the process of transmutation and alchemization can be done more quickly.
Wow.
So there are so many steps that can be taken. And even if you take just one step today, you're doing it. So it's about also being okay and be like, I'm fucking doing it. Sorry for the fact that, yes.
No problem.
I'm doing it. It's about knowing that you are doing it.
Would you say the same can be applied to those listening right now that are struggling with depression and anxiety?
Absolutely. Absolutely, yes. Absolutely, yes.
So I just had a few more questions because I respect your time. I just really want to thank you.
I respect your time.
Yes, thank you so much. My last few questions are this: what does happiness from within mean to you?
Happiness from within means the awareness and recognition of the love that we are. That's what it means to me.
Wow.
It's about tuning into that awareness. That's what it means. Just that. It's just happiness from within is who we are. That's the only happiness that really exists,
I love that. And my next question is when you take your last breath, how do you want to be remembered?
I don't care to be remembered.
Wow. I love that. That's really beautiful. And what would you say is one beautiful step that somebody can take in finding their life's mission?
Yeah, it's about tuning into your inner child. So what does that child of yours want to do? What is it that ignites and sets your heart on fire?
Wow.
You see, when we're children, we just know, we have that beautiful connection, and then all these filters, they become more and more and more and more. So we lose that connection, or it becomes harder to listen to that inner guidance that we spoke about before. But as we go back into thinking, what was it? What was that feeling that was really making me feel so alive when I was a child? Going back into memory lane and one more time having that communication with yourself, asking yourself these questions will help you understanding what is it that you're more drawn to. Also your gifts, meaning talents, natural gifted talents, communication, art, whatever it is that you have gifted within your heart since the beginning. It's there as a sign to tell you how to express who you are, your expression, the expression of your energy, the expression of your essence. So if you have a talent, it's very likely that through that talent, that is one form that you can use to step into your own life mission and purpose. So that talent is going to bring you, it's like a roadmap. It's telling you something. If it's about communication, it's always about communication on some levels. It's always about expression.
Absolutely.
But that talent is going to tell you how to go about it. You know what I mean? And also, what are the most important things for you? What is it that really resonates with your heart? That's how you step into the journey to finding and proceeding with your life mission. But you're accomplishing your life purpose and mission no matter what. Whether you think that you found your purpose or not, you are. This is a purposeful life. This is an intentional life. So whether you think that you have found your purpose or not, you're actually living and fulfilling your purpose already.
Wow.
But the more you tune into what are the feelings and emotions and what am I drawn to, what sets my heart on fire, the more you actually tune into with more awareness to your purpose and life mission.
Wow. I love that. That's beautiful. So just to wrap it up, I just, again, really want to thank you. And just any last minute words you'd like to share with the audience, anything that comes from your heart and soul, please feel free to share.
I would love to invite everybody to just express themselves in the way they feel they mostly resonate with. Whatever it's your form of expression, just use it and know that that is going to help you not only embodying even more who you are and be more happy, live such, much more fulfilled kind of life, but also at the same time, you will help others to do the same. So don't be afraid of being you and expressing every aspect of who you are, because every aspect of who you are is beautiful, whether you think it is or not. Every aspect of who you are, the light, the darkness, it's there to be acknowledged, and it's inspiring. Inspire the whole universe. So keep expressing yourself.
Wow. Dharma, where can people find you? Connect with you?
People can, absolutely. They can connect with me through my website, which is www.IamDharmaLove.com. They can find the Ultimate Empath Guide, which is that course that I spoke about. If you can see if you resonate with it. There is a beautiful trailer that you can watch and be like, oh yeah, this is for me, or no, this is not for me. Ooh, cool. And it's at www.life.academy.com, and you will find other amazing courses over there by the way. And or you can also find me on Instagram, which is I am Dharma Love. And and just, join our community. We have a beautiful community. We share every single day updates, energy updates, and tips to live better and to be happier within ourselves, to connect even more with our higher self and our higher wisdom. And I love our community because it's a tool for expression for many, and where everyone finds the resonance, however they resonate with it, So everybody who steps, comes in, lives something about themselves, a lot of comments, a lot of, they share a lot. And at the same time, they find something as well. So they leave something, they find something. And so if you want to find something and you want to see how you resonate, you can also, join the community and see how that feels for you and how that serves you. And I hope it will serve you. I'm sure it will serve you in the capacity that it can serve you, So, yeah. So that's how you can find me.
Yeah, I'll definitely, the links will be, the links will be below in the description. Dharma, wow, I'm so deeply touched. My heart is like, I just really needed to hear everything you were sharing today. You're such an amazing, beautiful soul. I just appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. And I personally look forward to working with you in the future. So definitely want to get some coaching sessions from you. I'm
looking forward to it. And actually, just very grateful for the present moment and for what we have co-created together and for your light. And it's beautiful what you have been doing, healing yourself. I hope you share this with as many people as possible because people need to know that they can heal themselves too.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. And
thank you so much.
I look forward to continuing to connect with you on Instagram. And I just wish you a beautiful day. Thank you so, so much.
You have an amazing one too. Thank you so much, Janet.
Thank you so much.
My dear.
Thank you. Namaste.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Namaste.
Bye. Hey guys, well that's a wrap. I really want to thank you from my heart to yours for joining me on episode 12 of Happiness from Within. Really want to encourage you guys to go over to Dharma's website. It is I Am Dharma Love. You can also connect with her on Instagram at I Am Dharma Love. She offers really amazing services. She does a lot of deep work. You can check it out on her website at I Am Dharma Love. She offers emotional and physical healing sessions, also Akashic Records readings, twin flame reconnection, youth healing, womb healing and sexual transmutation, and career and finance abundance healing. So if any of that resonates with you, I definitely recommend that you reach out to her. She's an amazing, amazing healer, and she can definitely help you with a lot of that deep emotional trauma that you're going through. And I just want to ask you guys a really deep favor. Any sort of value that you've gotten from this episode or any other episode, if you can take a moment to head over to iTunes, Spotify, or Google Podcast, leave a 5-star review and a comment. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. It helps to spread the beautiful message of happiness from within. And you can also follow me on Instagram. I am at Happiness from Within now. And just as my way of saying thank you to you guys, my beautiful listeners, I actually have 2 free gifts for you guys. You can actually click on the link below this episode. The first one is a free PDF, 7 Steps to Finding Your Happiness Now. And the second one is a free meditation audio to connect to your mind, body, heart, and soul to help you find that happiness from within. You can actually listen to it every morning and every evening. I truly believe from my heart to yours, it'll bring you a lot of value. But let me know what you think. I would love to hear your feedback, and I would love to create some more value for you guys, maybe some new meditation audios. Just let me know. You can reach out to me. Look forward to connecting with you on social media. And wherever you guys are in the world, I just wish you the most beautiful and most prosperous day. And I'll catch you guys on the next episode. Bye for now.